Good morning and welcome to DCC Daily, our Monday through Friday 15-minute program of information and encouragement for the DCC family and anybody else that wants to watch. We start every day with a photo of the day, and our photo today comes from John Hill. And John took this out at Lake Crescent, one of those days that the lake looks like glass. So John, thank you so much for sending that in. Announcements. Sunday morning, Sunday worship will be at 10 a.m. online or 12 noon on Wave Cable 21. I'll be starting a new sermon series this week called The Gift of Barnabas, Encouragement as a Way of Life. And we're going to do something a little bit different this Sunday, but I think that you will enjoy it. So I hope that you can tune in for that. Also, don't forget that if you haven't seen it yet, I did do that talk on Sunday night called Moving Forward, Regathering the Church. And so if you haven't seen that yet, you might want to go to our YouTube channel, check that out. It's just talking about what is it going to look like once we're able to start getting back together again, and how can we organize ourselves to be flexible? Because the weeks and months ahead, it's going to require a lot of flexibility. But I think there are ways that we can organize ourselves that will give us strong relationships, and I think will actually give us some exciting opportunities as a church to make an impact in our community. So I hope that you'll watch that. And there was a survey. You should have all filled it out by now. I've been talking about this. But if you haven't yet done that survey, it should be in your email. If you didn't find it in your email, then contact the church office and let us know so we can get a copy to you. Don't forget that tonight, Thursday night, it will be our weekly prayer call from 6:45 to 7:15. If you go to the switchboard on dcchurch.org and click there, and then you'll see the link for the Thursday night prayer call. You can either click that link to join by computer or dial the phone number shown there, and you can join us by phone. Then, I have been reminding you, gentlemen, that Mother's Day is coming, and you should be ready for it, and giving you some ideas about what you can do. And today I'd like to suggest that you consider, Monday I said you should think about cooking dinner for your lady yourself. But some of you, that is just too frightening. So, don't forget that you can still get things to go from a number of local restaurants. And that has a double benefit. It will bless your wife, and it will bless those little businesses. So maybe you should give some thought right now to where you would want to pick dinner up from, and even call ahead and make sure. They, I'm sure, would appreciate a heads up so they know how to prepare for cooking on Sunday. All right. Round to-its. Round to-its are those projects you've been putting off, but now you finally have time to get them done. And our round to-it today came from Sandy Vandaway. And Sandy says that she's been working on a project really for the last about 9 months. And finally, on April 23rd, she got around to it. And here you go. Her name is Wendy Joy. And Sandy, you did a marvelous job. That is an adorable baby. So congratulations to you on getting around to it. Okay, our devotional thought for today is coming from Deuteronomy chapter 34, verse 27, the first part of that verse. It says, "The eternal God is your refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms." I just have always loved that phrase, underneath are the everlasting arms. In fact, we were looking at that picture of little Wendy Joy. And what makes babies feel so secure is when they've got the arms of their mother or their father cradling them and holding them. And it seems like the image there in Deuteronomy is that God is the one who is cradling us. I remember from being a parent with little ones that you spend a lot of time holding babies. And we would talk about, the kind of dad muscles and mom muscles that you got from carrying these little people around. But your arm would get tired. And yet this says God is one that He doesn't get tired. He cradles us, and he never gets tired. Underneath are the everlasting arms. I talked a little bit about supporting local businesses. Thought it would be good today for an interview to talk to a member of our church that is very involved in the local business community and get a bit of that perspective. So let's go to that interview. Our guest this morning is Bob Torres. Bob and I go way back. We used to be roommates in college together, which is the reason that Bob has become the fine man that he is today. But Bob, for people that don't know you, maybe tell them a little bit about yourself.
All right, I was raised in California, got saved about 17 years old, went to the San Jose Rescue Mission right off the bat to kind of get my Christianity rolling. At the Rescue Mission, I met a bunch of Prairie Bible Institute people. That God used that to lead me up to Prairie. Met Tim there, where my character was shaped into the man I am today. Spent 3 summers smuggling Bibles behind the curtain of Prairie. Really decided the missionary Christian life was for me. And so ever since then, I've been either a pastor, youth pastor, lay minister, whatever. Now I work with the DCC youth group. I've got a Sunday high school mentoring group I run, a home group I run. So just kind of a on the sides lay guy, just trying to do what I can,
Yeah. And one of the things I've always appreciated, Bob, and you and I both spent a lot of years doing business and ministry side by side. I've ended up, being back in kind of career ministry again. But you're still super involved in the business world and walking out your faith there. I'm kind of intrigued because you do a lot of commercial property management. You've got your finger on the pulse of a lot of what's happening business-wise around here. What do you see happening for our local businesses coming out of this COVID-19 pandemic thing?
Yeah, it's really varied. I manage property for different owners, from big shopping centers to small little mom and pop things, and it's really varied. For me as a realtor, things have been really pretty much holding steady. But I've got a couple of gyms that I manage. They've been shut down completely. I've had to renegotiate rents. One of them has kind of gone online. This person is teaching online personal coaching. Helps a little bit, doesn't cover the rent, but keeps things going. I've got hair salons as tenants. They've had to be shut down completely. I've got a restaurant as a tenant who went to a delivery and takeout mode only. He said his business has dropped down a little bit, but not that much. My biggest drop that I've seen is in residential rentals. I manage a lot of homes, and that's where I've seen the biggest squeeze. Tenants who are renters, not always, but generally they have, lower paying jobs. They're not able to afford a home. And a lot of them are food service workers. We've got where both people and a couple have been laid off, furloughed, lost their jobs, can't pay their rent. April was spotty. May is getting really spotty for people paying rents. And the people that are feeling the biggest crunch are the homeowners, the landlords in the middle. The banks still want them to pay their mortgage, but the tenants aren't paying their rent. The tenants can't make rent because they've either lost their jobs or on hold, so they're getting a break from the landlord, but the landlord still has to pay his mortgage. So I would say right now my biggest clients that are affected are residential landlords.
Interesting. What would you share by way of encouragement or counsel to other business people within our DCC family that are going through this?
It's tough for people. I would say the biggest thing is to, obviously wait on the Lord, trust in the Lord. I've been a Christian for a long time. I've been in business for a long time. I've owned several businesses and I've been through ups and downs. I went through that big real estate market crash in '08. It was awful when it was happening, but God's brought us through it. I would say on the spiritual side, trust in the Lord, wait on the Lord. On the secular side, where finances meet the road, I would say take advantage of all the offers that are out there, the CARES Act, the PPP Act, SBA loans. I would take full advantage of those now if I could. And I know they're frustrating. People have told me they wait in line, they're on hold for 17 hours. Just keep trying. Those things are there. My clients who have gotten them are really happy. It's free money in most cases. On the other side, I'd say have some compassion, be patient. I would say the worst thing that could happen is for people to start getting greedy and scared, especially where tenants are involved. This is a great time for Christian businessmen to show compassion, show favor on people, bless people as much as you can. And for locals who just live here, help out local businesses as much as you can. I know Stacy and I are trying to do everything we can as locally and first person as we can.
Yeah, that's really great advice. Well, we will keep praying for these small businesses here because the day is going to come that this crisis will be over, and we still want these people here doing business with and for us. And
Yeah.
so, hey, would
Yeah.
you close our time with prayer this morning?
Sure, I'd be glad to. Lord, your name is Jehovah Jireh. You are the God who provides. And we know that and we believe that and we've seen it over and over again. So we come to you, Lord, now we ask you to provide for our people, provide for your people, provide for the people that are hurting and hungry right now. Help us to know our part in being your hands and your feet, to be your provision. Help us during these times to learn the difference between what we need and what we want. Help us to be the kind of people that know how to walk that line well. God, thank you for DCC. Thank you for the outreach we're doing. Thank you for all the people in our body that kind of hold us together. God, I ask you to bless our day now and bless our long-term vision as we come through this thing. Amen.
Amen. All right. Hey, thanks, man. Have a good day.
All right. Talk to you later.
Okay. Bye. Hey, thanks for joining us. I trust you'll find some ways to be a blessing to some small businesses in our community. And until then, I'll see you tomorrow.